Hello, seventh grade. What is going on? It's Mr. Matthews. Hope you had a nice Memorial Day weekend. Um, we're going to just go ahead and get started. We've only got two stories this week, so it looks like we're doing another episode story. This one is called Mutation, episode 1. So, as you can tell, looking at the picture, this looks like it's going to be fiction because it's an illustration here of a girl and a boy in the background. So, let's see what this is about. This is Mutation, episode 1, A Frightened Mouse. Mom furrowed her brows. I don't like the idea of leaving you both here while your father and I go shopping, she said. You're sure you'll be all right? We had just arrived at the cabin to start our vacation after an endless car ride, and the last thing I wanted to do was get back in the car to get groceries. Stop worrying, Mom. It's totally fine, I assured her. I want to stay here and explore around the cabin a little, check out the woods, and maybe find some cool rocks. Just make sure you don't go too far, and keep an eye on your brother, Dad told me. I glanced at TJ, who was sitting at the dilapidated kitchen table, his eyes glued to one of his comic books. Watching him push his glasses further up the bridge of his nose, totally oblivious to the world outside, that comic book, I realized he might as well have been at home. It shouldn't be too hard to avoid trouble, since TJ's about as exciting as a wet noodle, I said, smirking. Hey, I'm right here, you know. I can hear you, TJ said, still not looking up. Why don't you explore by yourself while I stay here and copy this picture of Superman into my sketchbook? Come on, you two, get along, Mom scolded. And TJ, I really think you should get some fresh air while you're here. We shouldn't be too long. I watched my parents back out of the gravel driveway and turn onto Potak Road. When my little brother still didn't look up, I frowned and said, TJ, you've been staring at that comic book ever since the last rest stop. Aren't you finished reading it yet? He shrugged nonchalantly and explained, I like to study the pictures, and besides, I'm as exciting as a wet noodle, so what do you care anyway? Come on, don't be like that, I said, peering out the window. There's a river on the other side of the road where I want to look for some new rocks to add to my collection, and I always find better stuff when you come along. Looking up at me for the first time since we'd arrived, he groaned, Fine, okay, but Mom and Dad said to stay close to the cabin, so let's not wander off too far. And we would stay close to the cabin, I thought, although who knows what close means anyway. We crossed Potak Road, my feet crunching over dried maple leaves and twigs as we trekked toward the sound of gurgling water. Through the trees to my right, I spied an odd, rambling building. Hey, look at that, I said, pointing. TJ stopped, pushed up his glasses, and said, I thought we were going to explore rocks by the river and get fresh air and everything. There's like a gazillion buildings at home, so who cares about this one? It looks deserted. Let's just see what it is, I said, and I made my way to the building knowing that TJ would inevitably follow, not wanting to be left behind. As I got closer, I glimpsed something purple in a pile of pebbles on the ground behind the chain-link fence surrounding the building. Check it out, an amethyst. That would totally make an awesome addition to my rock collection. And look, there's a break in the fence here, so I can just slip in and grab it. Don't even think about going in there, Emmy, TJ admonished. Don't you see that sign? I glanced up at the faded letters that read, Mither Laboratories. Keep out. Danger. Violators will be prosecuted. But when Dad's warning about staying close to the cabin popped into my head, I ignored it. TJ, it'll only take a minute for me to get it, and then we'll head down to the river, I said, and before my brother could dissuade me, I squeezed through the fence. The rock was mixed in with a pile of other pebbles and gravel, but there was a funny hole in a hill of dirt next to it, and when I reached for the amethyst, a white mouse darted out of the hole. I had no time to react before the mouse bit my finger and scurried back into the hole. Ouch! That hurt! Are you okay? TJ called from the other side of the fence. I knew something like this would happen. Let's get out of here. A tiny cut where the mouse nicked the skin was bleeding. I stuck my throbbing finger in my mouth and looked at TJ, who winced. It doesn't hurt, just tingles a little, I assured him, shaking my hand and pressing it against my jeans before squeezing back through the fence. TJ acted all weird and backed away when he saw my face. Something's wrong, and we forgot to bring the cell phone, so we need to go back to the cabin and call Mom and Dad. I was about to ask him what for, but instead I blurted out, Wait, I don't feel so good. All of a sudden, my head is killing me. Everything seemed so bright and loud, and I rubbed my forehead. Seeing the increasingly horrified expression on TJ's face, I agreed. You're right. Let's head back. I feel dizzy and nauseous. And why are you staring at me like that? Emmy, said TJ, whose eyes were getting wider by the second, your face, it's growing fur. All right, so that's the end of part 1. Now we've got 4 questions and answers here. So I'm going to read these to you, and then you'll go on Schoology and take the quiz. Question 1. Which sentence is most important to include in a summary of this episode? So summarizing the episode, which sentence would you include? A. Emmy decides not to go get groceries because she is tired of being in a car. B. Emmy agrees to head back to the cabin because she feels dizzy and nauseous. C. TJ sits at the kitchen table with his eyes glued to one of his comic books. D. TJ tells Emmy that he wants to copy a picture of Superman into his sketchbook. 2. What happens when Emmy reaches for the amethyst? A. As she reaches for the rock, TJ yells at her to stop and she drops it. B. As she reaches for the rock, a white mouse darts out of a hole and bites her finger. C. As she reaches for the rock, she cuts her finger on the edge of the fence. D. As she reaches for the rock, a warning sign on the fence makes her change her mind. Question 3. Which is the closest synonym for the word dilapidated? A. Shabby. B. Quaint. C. Artificial. D. Immense. Last question, question 4. What is the problem at the end of the episode? A. TJ and Emmy look for rocks near the river, but TJ soon starts to get bored. B. When TJ asks to head back to the cabin, Emmy decides to explore further along the river. C. TJ wants to call Mom and Dad for help, but Emmy tells him not to bother them. D. When TJ and Emmy start to go back to the cabin, TJ notices some fur on Emmy's face. All right, so there are your 4 questions for this story. Go ahead back into Schoology, log in, and take the quiz. Of course, you can use this video if you want. Hope you guys are having a great day. Talk soon.